Becky Lynch just made a big declaration about her upcoming future in WWE. We'll also check out what's new with Zelina Vega, Sami Zayn, and much more. Starting things off with Becky Lynch's big claim about her upcoming plans in WWE. Becky Lynch's 2025 return run has been off to a great start that's been full of championship gold. She won the tag team titles during her first night back in WWE at WrestleMania 41. And barely a few months after that, she won the Women's Intercontinental title from Lyra. But according to the woman herself, Becky claims that she's not satisfied with just holding the Women's Intercontinental title and has her eyes on a whole other big goal right now. While appearing at the SummerSlam kickoff event, Becky teased what she had in mind for herself at SummerSlam. Becky had this to say about the event, quote, "Does anyone remember what happened the last time we were in the MetLife Stadium? Does anyone remember the main event last time we were in the MetLife Stadium? Well, that might just be a prediction of what I'm looking to do again," end quote. What Becky Lynch is making a reference to there is obviously WrestleMania 35, where she became the first and only woman in WWE history to unify both of the women's world titles. It was a historic career night for Becky Lynch inside MetLife Stadium that night, not only unifying both world titles, but also competing in the first ever women's WrestleMania main event and winning it. And this was before the two-night structure for WrestleMania. So Becky's match was the standalone WrestleMania main event on a one-night card, an absolute massive deal. And WWE has not hosted an event inside MetLife Stadium ever since that night of WrestleMania 35. SummerSlam 2025 will be the first WWE event hosted inside MetLife Stadium since 2019. So with that stadium being such a historic part of Becky Lynch's Hall of Fame worthy career, she feels absolutely thrilled about walking back into the same stadium for SummerSlam in just a few months. She's expecting to repeat history by walking out of MetLife Stadium once again with 2 championship titles over her shoulder. So judging by what Becky's saying, that means she expects herself to walk out of SummerSlam with the Intercontinental title and apparently also snatch up the Women's World title at the event, with her 2 titles this time around being the Intercontinental title and the World title. So is Becky Lynch's goal achievable and realistic? Well, WWE often loves to say never. But as everyone also knows, the unifying of the titles could quickly become a headache to deal with from a writing perspective. The double champions either end up losing one of the titles pretty quickly, or are forced to relinquish one of the titles shortly after winning them. So it's hard to imagine them putting themselves into a writing hole by unifying the Intercontinental and World titles. But that's the mindset Becky Lynch has walking into SummerSlam. She wants to recreate the ending of WrestleMania 35 at SummerSlam. As far as things go with Becky Lynch, she's still the current Women's Intercontinental Champion. Lots of fans have been giving Becky Lynch props for really elevating the Women's Intercontinental title to new heights during this run so far. And fans are right. It's the Women's World title that sort of feels like the secondary title right now to Becky's Intercontinental title. The Intercontinental title has so much momentum and buzz around it. It's getting promo segments, big return moments, big time drama, and big stars. All while it feels like not much of anything is happening with Io Sky in the Women's World title since April. As a matter of fact, Io Sky has not defended the world title at all since WrestleMania 41 itself. So a big fall from grace has happened there with the world title. To go from having the big 3-way feud for the title at WrestleMania to Io now having no active feuds and 0 title defenses in over 2 months. So with the Women's World title basically being forgotten and ignored, Becky Lynch in the Women's Intercontinental title has basically become the #1 women's title on Raw right now. So that's something Becky Lynch has accomplished. She has elevated the title. And a lot of fans expect for that elevation to stay up, especially heading into SummerSlam. Becky has a massive program going on right now with Bayley and Lyra. So maybe a big triple threat match could be on the horizon for the Women's Intercontinental title at SummerSlam. Zelina Vega recently revealed that she had a big idea blocked from happening in WWE. During a recent appearance on the Lightweights podcast, Zelina Vega said that her recent hardcore match on SmackDown against Piper Niven was the first hardcore match of her entire career. So when she was informed that she was having a hardcore match, she became excited and full of ideas to make the match even more special. Zelina says the first pitch she made for the match was for her to jump off the Tron and the entire entrance stage. Her inspiration behind that pitch was Jeff Hardy's memorable moment when he jumped off the entrance stage onto Randy Orton in the late 2000s. Zelina Vega wanted to recreate a moment like that during her own hardcore match, but says WWE quietly shut the idea down for being a bit too dangerous, and how they wanted to save big moments for the very next night, which was Money in the Bank. But Zelina said that she won't stop trying. She said that Jeff Hardy was one of her favorite wrestlers to watch growing up, and she intends on recreating that entrance jump at some point in her career. It's definitely a very scary and high-risk spot, but moments like that are often immortalized and remembered forever amongst the fans. So Zelina is looking to recreate a moment as amazing as some of the Jeff Hardy jumps. Sami Zayn has quietly had a pretty intriguing developing story happening right now that maybe some fans are sleeping on, and this is the story that basically started on the Raw after WrestleMania. Sami Zayn made his return to join Jey Uso in the ring and celebrate Jey's world title win with him. But there was a few moments during that segment that made it seem like, sure, Sami was happy and proud of Jey, but maybe just a little bit jealous of him as well. Jey was an underdog, just like Sami, someone that many fans looked at as just a tag team sort of guy. But Jey broke through and literally won a world title. So Sami is maybe a bit jealous, but at the same time, he's motivated by Jey's story. If Jey did it, surely Sami feels like he can do it too. And in the weeks and months after that celebration moment with Jey, we've seen Sami Zayn let so many world title opportunities just slip out of his grasp. Seth Rollins gave him a chance to go to SmackDown and get a WWE title shot against John Cena, but Sami turned it down because he wanted to get the world title match the honorable way. Then the King of the Ring tournament rolls around, same idea again. A world title opportunity is on the line. Sami's doing all these speeches about being good enough to be a world champion, and he loses again in the tournament. So the story so far has been established that Sami Zayn is desperately after a world title. The only issue is that he continues to come up short in every scenario. The only valid next move here for Sami Zayn is for him to snap and turn heel in order to get closer to winning his first world title. This is something that Karrion Kross has been trying to get Sami Zayn to see, that he has to change his ways in order to get closer to the world title. So with the pressure continuing to build on Sami, and now coming off this tournament loss to Randy Orton, could Sami Zayn be getting closer than ever to that heel turn? Definitely a deep sleeper storyline to watch out there with Sami Zayn. But what are your thoughts on today's stories? Leave your comments below. Don't forget to subscribe with all notifications on, and leave a like if you enjoyed. Thanks for watching, guys.